Warning, this video is very controversial. Beware if you carry on. Over in America, there's an organisation that regulates college sports. It's called the NCAA. They have a penalty that is so severe, it's been handed out once to a football programme. That was in 1987 to the SMU Mustangs for continued cheating, effectively. And that basically is a massive warning to all college programs not to break the rules. The European Super League will raise its ugly head again at some point. So, as a deterrent, I have appointed myself as head of punishment for the FA. And as a precaution, I'm now enacting that punishment to 7 teams in the Premier League that may consider joining. So I've chosen the big 5 plus 2 others. I'll let you decide who they are. And we've punished them severely. Now, I'm lazy. I haven't gone looking for a 10-tier database. So we are just using the standard FM26 database and have dropped these 7 teams into either National League North or National League South. So the 7 clubs are Manchester City, Liverpool and Manchester United. They've all been relegated to the National League North. Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal and Chelsea have all been relegated to the National League South. And I have also relegated Everton to the National League South to see, if they don't get promoted, whether the game is clever enough to recognise regionalisation. So with the relegations, we needed to move 7 clubs from the Championship into the Premier League. I've chosen Coventry, Middlesbrough, Birmingham, Wrexham, Sheffield United, West Brom and Ipswich to be promoted. Likewise, League One clubs then need to move into the Championship. So Bradford, Bolton, Lincoln, Wigan, Blackpool, Cardiff and Stockport have all moved to the Championship. From League Two, Walsall, Notts County, Crewe, Barrow, Chesterfield, Grimsby and Swindon have all been promoted to League One. And then from the National League, we have Carlisle, Borehamwood, Rochdale, York, Hartlepool and Scunthorpe all going up. Finally, we've had 7 teams move from either the National League North or South. So 3 from the North were Fylde, Kidderminster and South Shields. And the 4 from the South were Dorking, Hornchurch, Torquay and Worthing. And now I'm going to fast forward to 2036 to see exactly how these clubs have done since this dramatic change in the league structure. Right, we'll start with European competition first. And at the end of the first season, the Champions League final was won by Napoli against Real Madrid. We'll look at the league phase, and I have to admit I didn't bother making any changes to the Champions League at all. So the teams that had qualified have qualified. So we can see that Liverpool, Spurs, Man City, Chelsea and Arsenal were all in there, and Arsenal did the best out of the lot. So as part of the punishment as well, we released a lot of their players. So their players could have been picked up and gone to anywhere in Europe. We do see that Newcastle, we do see that the latest patch hadn't fixed that. So Newcastle did win 6 games and qualified, but none of the other 5 got anywhere near. So we will now jump back to the final and change it to the following season. And we'll have a look at the final there. We can see that now Newcastle have beaten Napoli. So they obviously have benefited from this. After that, Atletico lost to Barcelona on penalties. It would be interesting. What I should have done was check to see. Here we go. We'll go back a season and go to the league phase and see exactly who qualified. So we had Newcastle, Brighton were up there, Aston Villa and West Ham. So there we go. We're now seeing a new big four there. And then the following year, it was Newcastle, Brighton, Nottingham Forest got in this time, and West Ham. And then we can see that Newcastle always up there, always in there. There are a couple here. Wolves and Villa. Is it just the three? No, there is a fourth one. Brighton were in there as well. Newcastle right up there. Brighton, Leicester, Brentford. So there's a little bit of change, but Newcastle seem to be a permanent thing. They didn't win it there or there. So Barcelona have done all right. And then, Newcastle lost to Barcelona. So Barcelona seem as if they've probably picked up some of these players. PSG beat Barcelona. Barcelona repeat finalists. This time Atletico beat PSG. Atletico beat Real Madrid. That's back-to-back for Atletico. Back-to-back-to-back for Atletico. And they made the final again, but were beaten by now two-time Champions League winners, Newcastle. So without further ado, let's go straight into the Premier League and actually see what it's all about. So we'll do the initial season. We can see that Newcastle won. Brighton, Aston Villa and West Ham, we saw them in the Champions League. Then it was Brentford, Ipswich right up there. And three of the promoted clubs, Wrexham, Sheffield United and Middlesbrough, were all relegated. So if we then drop into the Championship for that first season, we can see Norwich and Leicester were the two promoted, along with Cardiff, who got a reprieve. And we can see Lincoln, Stockport and Bradford, three of the promoted clubs, straight back down. Into League One then, and we want to go back there. Luton, Huddersfield and Plymouth all got promoted. And Crewe, Exeter, Walsall and Barrow, all promoted, were relegated. So that hasn't helped any of them there, has it? And then if we go to League Two, we can see that Colchester, MK Dons, Cambridge and Bromley were promoted. Boreham Wood and Scunthorpe were relegated. So two of the promoted teams, two of the teams I pushed, got relegated. Into the National League then. So we can see Forest Green and Boston made it to the Promised Lands. Torquay, Tamworth, South Shields and Brackley. So South Shields was the only promoted team that were relegated. So Dorking, Kidderminster, Fylde all did well there. Hornchurch is there as well, look. So yeah. And now, more importantly, if we drop down to the Enterprise North, we can see that Man City ran away with things. 40 wins, 6 draws, 105 for, 126 points. They got promoted as champions. And then through the playoffs, Liverpool, who finished second on 121 points, also were promoted. And Manchester United, third of the big clubs, we've ruined the non-league, haven't we? They finished on 93 points and came third, but because there's only 2 up, here we go. Football League teams, 3 up campaign. Yeah, because there only 2 get promoted, they have to sit into the National League North for another year. Right, National League South then. Who did anything here? And it is Arsenal. They got 119 points, finished top. Then it was Chelsea, then it was Everton, and then Spurs, who came through the playoffs, get promoted. So Chelsea and Everton are going to be suffering for another year. Right, we'll go straight on to the next year, and that'll be 2026. We can see that Chelsea won it, and Everton aren't in there. So look at Chelsea, 131 points, a goal difference of 128. They only conceded 20 goals, just the one defeat. They stormed it. So I'm guessing then that the game is clever enough to have moved. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Everton to the National League North. So we'll jump back here and this season. And there they are. Everton were moved to the National League North and got promoted. Manchester United. Are they the first team to suffer? They are fourth and did not get promoted. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Brackley have got back-to-back relegations. Marine, Darlington and Worksop have all followed them. Right. So we want to go back up a level. Enterprise National League. And we can see the dominant North, Man City and Liverpool first and second. Arsenal and Spurs were third and fourth, and it's Man City and Arsenal, the two to get promoted. Hornchurch, one of the teams that moved up, went down. So there we go. So the cream is starting to rise now, isn't it? So Manchester City and Arsenal. And again, it's the two up. Because there's not three up, there's a bottleneck there. So it looks like Liverpool, Spurs, Everton are all going to be fighting out next year to see which two of them go up. So without further ado, let's jump back. We're not really too concerned with those. The Championship, we'll check this one out. In the second year, Wrexham went back up along with Sheffield United. Derby were also promoted. And we can see that Sheffield Wednesday, Wigan and Bolton. So Sheffield Wednesday really struggling this year. They were reprieved because we moved all those other teams up. And Wigan and Bolton were two of those. They are now going back down. And then into the Premiership. Oh, I've done it again. I needed to jump there and there. And Newcastle win the league again. Brighton, West Ham and Forest, we saw those in the Champions League. Brentford were right up there. And the teams to get relegated were West Brom, Coventry and Cardiff. So Cardiff got promoted, didn't they? So they were there, went straight back down. Ipswich still doing well. Right, on to the next year. Newcastle win again. Sunderland right up there. I say right up there, 30 points behind. It is one club so far superior to all the others there. It is a mediocre mid-table, isn't it? You go 67 down to, 50 points in 12th? A couple of wins and you're proud. It is literally 2 wins. Oh no, it could have been a little bit more, isn't it? And then Sheffield United, Leeds and Derby are all down. So the Championship in this season, we see that Oxford, Blackpool and Stevenage are all down. West Brom, Middlesbrough and Millwall are going up. We should see someone in League 2 this year, shouldn't we? So it was there. And, oh yes, look at that. The 2 promoted teams, Man City and Arsenal, are both promoted again. Newport and Cheltenham drop out. AFC Wimbledon and York are both going up with them. So York have done all right, haven't they? So National League. We should see... Oh, it's Chelsea and Spurs. Liverpool miss out. They finished second, 6 points behind. Spurs, an absolute mile away, get promoted. And Everton finished fourth with 84 points. So we'll drop down to the National League North. See how Manchester United got it. So Manchester United have won it, 103 points. So they are now making a move. It's taken them 3 years, but they are now, with their first promotion, one step closer. In actual fact, we can stay in the North. No, we don't need the North anymore. We are done with the North, aren't we? So we can now see in the fourth year, Liverpool finally get promoted along with Newport. So Manchester United and Everton miss out. Manchester United straight away in the top four and Everton sixth. So Liverpool are now, or next season, will be in the Football League. So talking of Football League, National League 2, it's this year, isn't it? We can see that Chelsea got promoted along with Crewe, Grimsby and Spurs, who finished sixth. They are a playoff side, aren't they? And down at the bottom, Barnet and Hartlepool. Right, the teams that got promoted into League One, how did they do? Manchester City steaming up. Arsenal, a bit of a drop-off, only 69 points, but were promoted in the playoffs. So Arsenal are losing some steam. Manchester City, though, are bang on it. They could be the first team to return. Will they fully recover? That is the question. So Championship, 28, 29. Leeds, Coventry and Watford up. Plymouth, Wickham and Southampton are all relegated. And most importantly, who won the Premier League? Okay, Newcastle won the Premier League. Brighton, Aston Villa and Brentford. So Brentford have always been right up there. Brighton and Aston Villa doing all right. Millwall, West Brom and Wrexham are all relegated. Were they the promoted clubs from last year? I can't remember. Right, so 29-30. Newcastle again. I've just created a beast, haven't I? Newcastle. The gap is closing, so the AI hasn't invested in players particularly well. But yeah, they're right up there and have won the league consistently. Coventry, Middlesbrough and Leicester are all relegated. So Championship, we should see Man City, shouldn't we? It's that one there, 29-30, is that right? Arsenal are there. Where's Man City? Man City, 6th. I am right, isn't it? It's 28-29. Yeah, so 29-30. Manchester City have run out of steam. They only finished 6th. Wrexham, Bristol City and Sheffield Wednesday all have been in the Premier League, so they've got some money, are promoted. Arsenal, who snuck up in the playoffs, do survive, but are down in 18th. So League One, we probably have a club or two here, don't we? And Chelsea, straight through. Peterborough, Wigan, oh dear, that Spurs, who went up as in the playoffs, are now relegated back to League Two. That's not good. Liverpool, though, have just about enough about them to crawl through and claim the 3rd promotion spot. And Northampton went up with Bolton and Crawley from the playoffs. Is there any other teams there? No, that was it. So we will see Tottenham in that league next year. So Enterprise National League. So the one jump before the leagues. Manchester United make that jump with Dorking. How about that? Everton are sat there in 6th. There we have it. Kettering have suddenly come into play. Look. We can do the next year here, can't we? So 30, 31. And Everton, where are you, Everton? Oh dear, 17th. Kettering did get relegated there. Scunthorpe and Telford went up. What has happened to Everton? Look? They've missed the chance and sort of stuck in non-league. Right, back up to League Two then. 30, 31. And Manchester United straight into 4th. Spurs into 5th. They were relegated, remember. Neither side get promoted. Barrow and Oldham go down. Bristol Rovers, Fleetwood and Notts County go up automatically with Rochdale through the playoffs. So into League One, and what do we have? Crewe and MK Dons are promoted along with Preston. We see Wycombe, Rotherham, Grimsby and Southampton all relegated. Liverpool sit mid-table. None of the others are there. Right, Championship. 30-31. Oh, Manchester City are back. Look, they are promoted as champions. So Manchester City are the first club to rise through the leagues and make it back to the promised land. Chelsea finished 12th. Arsenal 21st, only just avoiding relegation. And the three Ps, Peterborough, Plymouth and Portsmouth, are all relegated. And then the Premier League, 30-31. Should we hazard a guess that Newcastle won it again? They did. It's down to 7 points, the gap from Brighton. Crystal Palace and Villa are up there. Brentford dropped off a bit. They dropped down to 9th. Bristol City, Wrexham and Sheffield Wednesday are all relegated. So 31-32 is Manchester City's first season back in the Premier League, and they didn't get relegated. Newcastle won the league. 18 points though. Crystal Palace. Man City, where are you? Oh, at 15th. They're back in the promised land and survived by 4 points. Right, on to the Championship. Arsenal. That's a better season from them. They finished mid-table in 12th. 62 points, and Derby were 10 points ahead of them for the playoffs. But Coventry, Bristol City and West Brom are all promoted. Hopefully I've clicked on the right year. Yes, we did that one. So it is 31-32 now. And what are we seeing? Liverpool are there in 14th. Nothing else. There's no real movement. So Liverpool are stuck as a League One team. Spurs, though, are champions of League Two. They are promoted. Southampton, they finished 4th, failed to get promoted. Manchester United finished 16th. And Leyton Orient and Port Vale both drop out of the league. Dorking did all right. They went up with Manchester United, of course. So 31-32. Let's have a look. National League. Everton, what have you done? Everton. Oh, there we go. They've staged a bit of a recovery. They've finished 7th. But Boston and Radcliffe are the two teams promoted. Right, so the following year then, Everton, how did you get on? You got up another place. 6 more points, finished in 6th, so they got into the playoffs this time. But Leyton Orient, who finished below them, get promoted with Barrow. Manchester United finished 4th, right up there in the playoffs, but miss out on promotion. Stevenage and Bromley drop out. So it's slow going for Manchester United. League One then. Spurs are back in the Championship. They cruise the league by 6 points. Liverpool finished 6th. And we can see that Mansfield, Scunthorpe, Crawley and Portsmouth are all relegated to League Two. So in the Championship, we can see that Birmingham, Millwall and Norwich were promoted. Middlesbrough, MK Dons and Cardiff relegated. Chelsea sit mid-table in 13th. Arsenal in 10th. So there's a little bit of a recovery for Arsenal. A couple of players, a little bit of luck. Who knows what's going to happen? And then the Premier League. How are Manchester City doing? Newcastle win it again. Leeds, West Brom and Man City are relegated. Man City have moved up. 8 more points this year, up to 10th. And then Look at that. Man City are almost back now. They finished third. They're in Europe. Newcastle have won the league yet again. I have inadvertently created a monster in Newcastle. Brighton right up there. Forest right up there. Okay, so we're 33, 34. Into the Championship. What happened here? Chelsea finished 9th. Liverpool 11th. Arsenal 13th. Where's Spurs? Spurs 20th. They just about held on as Stockport, Oxford and Crewe were all relegated. Did we have any teams left in League One there? Oh yes, Manchester United. That is the right year, isn't it? We are. No, it's this one, isn't it? So, sorry, Liverpool have been promoted there. We didn't see this later. I've messed up somewhere, haven't I? Let's go back here. It's 33, 34. Man City, yeah, that's it. 33, 34 for the Championship. We can see that Leeds, West Brom and Bristol City were promoted. Chelsea finished 4th, so they were right up there. Spurs have done a lot better. They finished 15th above Arsenal in 16th. And then obviously we know that Liverpool got promoted from here in 33, 34. They finished runners-up behind Middlesbrough. Stockport went up with them. And then we have Chesterfield, Colchester, Reading and Blackpool all getting relegated. So into League Two in 33, 34. Manchester United have been promoted. Southampton have gone up with them. And going down, Dorking and Newport. So Dorking's league adventure has ended in relegation there. Portsmouth down there as well. National League. Is this the year of Everton? 33, 34, and Everton finished 4th. They are still stuck. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. So Sutton, Halifax, Bournemouth and Maidenhead are down. Southend and Bromley both return to the Football League. Everton have had one promotion. So 34, 35. Everton have finally been promoted. How about that then? Everton are finally out of non-league in the year 2034-35. They finished 10 points behind Dagenham and Redbridge, but went up in the playoffs. Come on, League Two, sorry. And did we have any teams left? No, it'll be Everton next year. So, League One. Wigan, Charlton and Salford are all promoted. Manchester United finished 6th. MK Dons, Notts County, Gillingham and Fleetwood are all relegated. So Manchester United are still stuck in League One. Into the Championship then. Do any of them get promoted? Birmingham, Coventry and Stoke have, so no is the answer. Chelsea finished 9th, Liverpool 11th, Arsenal 13th and Spurs 20th. So yeah, they've just been bobbing around in the Championship. They can't muster a promotion push. But can Man City? That is the question. Can Man City get right up there? They finished 2nd, 7 points behind Newcastle. So Newcastle have won yet again. We see Ipswich, Leeds and West Brom are all relegated. Fulham, Aston Villa and Brighton are in various cup competitions. Interestingly, it's only 2. There's no Conference League there, is there? Right, on to 35, 36. The last season I simulated and it's Newcastle yet again. Ooh, it's on goal difference this time. Brighton have finally plucked up a challenge. Goal difference, 8 goals separate the two teams. Man City dropped down to 3rd. Wolves, Bristol City and Stoke are all relegated. Right, in the Championship, did any of them that have been congregating there forever make it up. Chelsea have made it up. Chelsea are the second team to rise from the bottom to the top. Liverpool in 6th. They would have been in the playoffs. So they pushed it. Then we can see Arsenal sat in mid-table. Spurs down in 14th. Salford, Wigan and Plymouth are relegated. Right, on to League One then. Did Manchester United get promoted? No. Manchester United dropped down to 17th. On to League Two, and how have Everton got on? Everton finished 8th. Very respectable in their first season back in the Football League. And we can see that Notts County, Grimsby, Portsmouth all went up automatically, and Cambridge through the playoffs. Barrow, one of the teams we promoted, and Walsall, another one, were both relegated out of the league. That is some major punishments. Right, so if we have a look at some of these clubs now. Everton. Interestingly, they're back at Goodison Park. Oh, that must be the ladies, sorry. No, they are still at Bramley-Moore Docks. With pitch is perfect, stadium's in good condition. The training facilities aren't particularly good. So they really have suffered. Manchester United. They are at Old Trafford. They have spent money, so the Old Trafford ground is still decent. Pitch is in perfect condition. The training facilities aren't great. Spurs were next, weren't they? Spurs, White Hart Lane is 62,850. Training facilities, poor. But youth, they've spent money on youth. Look, there's youth level 1, superb youth facility. So they are investing in youth. So Spurs may return. Arsenal spent an awful long time in the Championship. The Arsenal Stadium is a 60,704 capacity, below average, so youth level 4. So they are just going all out on first team. Right, Liverpool. Anfield, the 61,276. Superb youth facilities, youth level 1. So Liverpool are another of these clubs that have invested in youth. Look, the training facilities are poor for the first team, but hey ho. And then we have Chelsea, who have recently got promoted. Stamford Bridge, the 40,343. Excellent training facilities, superb youth level 1. So they have kept their facilities right up to date. And then, of course, the team that rose to the top quickest is Manchester City, and they are in a 61,900 Etihad Stadium. Perfect and immaculate. So they've spent money there. Training isn't far off top. Superb youth facilities, youth level 1. So they are pretty much back to where they were. They just need 1 or 2 players and away they go. So there we have it. These clubs, they do rise back up. Some a lot faster than others. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. If you have, let me know. And let me know if you want me to run this for another sort of 10 years and see, or a little bit beyond, to see if we can get all 7 of those teams back into the Premier League. So, yeah, there we have it. What could happen? It won't, because the FA haven't got the solids to do that. Right. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Until then, ta-da.